Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Imperator Rome, where we are, of course, playing as the Longbeards of the Carpathian Mountains, having moved our nation from Langobardia over here, which I am now noticing, actually, is starting to get occupied by other powers. So apparently, some of the migrating tribes are now beginning to either migrate or perhaps colonize, depending on what their populations are like. They're getting so many citizens. We moved along here, down past through the mountains, ending up in Imeprator, which is of course the gold mining mountain pass, which is our capital. We fought towards the end of the last session a bunch of other fellow barbarians up here in the north, securing for ourselves a bunch of citizens actually, which is going to make this a real pain to keep loyal. So what we might end up doing is moving them all into a central province and then just migrating them back down to the south and then settling Imeprator, because Imeprator, being a gold mining province, actually makes the local citizens happier. And I would very much like to get that bonus, so we could settle them basically anywhere in this area. Our armies did take a bunch of attrition during the war. We outnumbered them. We outnumbered them very heavily, but they had much better technology than we did. So getting all of these citizens is going to be critical to improving our own tech. And in fact, just by taking that area, we've basically doubled our research output. So hopefully that's going to result in some faster progression. Although it's still going to be super, super slow. Alright, so we need to think about how exactly to move the people. We need to start moving our armies themselves down here to the south, because we are still being attacked by barbarians. And I just noticed, why is there a rebel siege thing on here? There's no bad guys. Oh, right, because Solitarium was being sieged by the guys that we just defeated. So that's basically a phantom army, which should disappear as soon as we unpause. That's a thick dwarven empire. Oh, I would hope so. The dwarves are definitely pretty strong here, but as I was saying, we are getting completely and utterly bossed. Whoa, when it comes to technology, 78887. These guys are at 7777, 6666, 7777, 4444. The ones we beat were 4444, like these guys. So the fact that these are all in the 7s is scary, because our own technology is a 0000. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to work on that. Anyway, let's send our armies south. So let's deselect Hakon right now. Let's have you lot moving here. Let's select you as well and have you move here, have you move there. And we'll stay here where the supply limit is actually pretty high. And we'll improve that. We seem to have actually inherited a couple of forts, which is very nice. The other thing I think I do want to do is build a fort in Moronis. I'm getting rather fed up with that place falling. So how am I going to move these? I think a massive migration is going to have to be the way to do it. But we can't do it while unrest is that high. Who is the provincial governor of this? We're currently doing cultural assimilation, which I do think is the right move, at least short term. So maybe we do leave some armies down there just to make sure that it recovers. We are 5,000 men short. It was mostly retinues we lost. We were pretty good at maintaining our own forces, which were good. How? The dwarves are usually doing good in the tech department because we've been focusing on expansion. You're basically either spending your civic points on migrations and colonization, or you're spending it on getting citizens. We spent it on the former, they spent it on the latter. Hence we're a lot bigger than they are. And we can now switch things around. Also, I'm still convinced that it's the right decision, because tribes have massively increased costs to promote a citizen. So at the moment is tribe plus 50%. To the promotion cost. So usually it would cost you 10 points rather than 15. Yeah, everything else is the same price. And then the promotion from tribesman is also now getting cheaper. It's down from 15, it's now 10, and we'll actually sink even further as we get more positive centralization. And then once we hit 40% centralization, we can become a settled tribe, which will mean that we get a better form of government and even more monarch points and stuff like that. So it should be improving. It should definitely be improving. Looking forward to the next civil war, where we don't have any on the horizon for a bit. The Eidgids are actually surprisingly loyal for the time being, and the Segramandrus can probably be bribed, although they do have a lot of loyal cohorts. Oh, and they're being exalted, which is offsetting it a little bit. And our own ruler actually has a very large retinue of his own, so we control a big army, a big portion of the army. And remember, as we centralize more, their retinues get smaller, which means we have more overall control. We do have a tremendous amount of money. We also have a tremendous number of points. So there was another area that we were seriously considering trying to shift away. Some of these, yeah, it was like this area. I'd still like to do that, I think. It's kind of these 4 provinces. We would be losing a fort there, but so be it. So we have quite a few citizens here. How much does a migration cost nowadays? Disloyal province. Just how... Ooh, wow, yeah. Okay, disloyal. The governor is doing his best. It's just so disloyal because the citizens are so unhappy. Have they all been converted? No, they are all vandals. Which is not helping, so we should probably spend a bunch of oratory points just to get those converted, and I think we are going to. Yeah, that's 30% extra happiness. Just by doing that. I think I'm going to do it just with the citizens. Like so. So that should be a serious help with that. Let's just go back to the provincial overview. Still losing loyalty at the moment. I wonder if that changes when it next ticks. We shall need to keep an eye and see. Right, you are still suffering attrition here. Why? Supply 11, supply 16. So you should be standing there. You should probably stand over there. Military access? Go for it. How much do buildings cost? 100, yes. And you're the new retinue. Yeah, fine. Need to wait until the big boys arrive to go and deal with those barbarians. And they don't seem at all interested in moving away. So this is basically going to be some free manpower right there. Which is very nice of them. Ooh, mercenaries. How much do these cost to move? 20. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Move them to Malmia. I like that idea, actually. If we move these into Malmia, or Manimia, then we can shift them all. Yeah, let's do that. Can't, because you're disloyal. Right. Definitely causing problems. Yeah, have we had that tick yet? No, we have. And it's still not improving very much. Burgundia is still the one that is causing our problems. Oh, the war exhaustion is also contributing. Well, we can probably certainly pay that down a bit. I mean, it's currently going down by 0.08. I think I'm going to go ahead and spend some military points to drop that, because it was reducing, or rather, it was increasing unrest by +3. It's now +1. Is that helping at all? Again, needs to recalculate at the end of the month. Gurak Ingramus died from overwork at the age of 70, was the Arbitrator, so we need to bring in a new Arbitrator. We did, of course, just import a whole bunch of new people. So we actually have some specialists that we can put into government. You are super duper corrupt, so you're not seeing anything near a government seat. Others of you are fine, though. Right, have we had the end of the month yet? No. Now we have. Yes! Improvement. Okay, so province loyalty is now going up. I wonder at what point we can actually move people, though. I'm also wondering if we need to make this into happiness rather than culture convert. Because the unhappy populace is really bringing things down. Thankfully we don't need to religiously convert these people. We can actually get our stability up as well. Does that decrease unrest? No, but it does make us more loyal. It also increases the amount of money we're making. Oh, our popularity is really poor. Right, because we just recruited a bunch of people, so even though this is actually a really good leader, and has been since he's been in power, yeah. Who's the next in line? And how old are you? You're 70. All of our rulers seem to live a really long time. 44 and 42. And who's going to be next? That guy. 1487. Another bad civic. Ah! None of my rulers have had good civic ability. Except for the first one. The first one had a decent one. I love how you talk about importing people as if it's importing marble or something. It reminds me of the description of the One Faction EU4 Ming discussing Buddhists as a non-renewable resource. Well, at least in this instance, I'm talking about resettling citizens rather than slaves. Like, they have some free will, at least. We haven't really done the slave thing. Except for a couple of indentured servants who are serving in the gold mines of Ibdura. But our slave population is going to be tiny. It's going to be like 2% or something. I'm actually kind of curious about that now. 67% tribesmen. 12% citizens, that's surprising. 14% free men, and then 5% slaves. You really don't have very many. Keeping this lot happy is going to be more difficult than I'd kind of anticipated. And moving them to where they are going to be happier is also going to be more difficult than I anticipated. I really don't want to spend all of my oratory power on just assimilating everyone, but I feel like we may need to. No, I'm going to continue pressuring them with the culture convert. If they rise up against us, then I will just crush them like a bug. But these guys, I am going to work towards actually moving. Because I want to move them to Ibdura, because they're going to be a lot happier there because of the gold mines. A group of soldiers belonging to an enemy commanded by Nedagast Eidgid has, while stationed on a peaceful deployment, absconded in order to pillage the nearby city of Sidoris. What is more concerning is that Nebogast is refusing to punish his legions, citing their extreme loyalty as a reason. So, Nebogast loses loyalty. He is a clan chief. And Sidoris gets looted. Or Eidgid becomes more ambitious. I lose popularity. And Sidoris gets looted regardless. I mean, I don't actually have any manpower to lose. So technically this is the better option. And I'd really like to try and keep you loyal. I've had enough of civil wars. You're trying to import my woad. Keep your hands off my woad. It's my woad. We're actually getting 250 manpower a month now, which is quite impressive. Oh, right, because of all the freemen up here. How civilized are we? Not very. 35 centralized, and we're still a migratory tribe, so we're like the least cultured of all the tribes. Wow, that's a crush. Smash. And they're going to run one province that way. Yes, exactly, Marshall. Frisia is giving me money. Well, they know what's good for them, clearly. So, Marconis, I can build... no, I can't. Why can't I? Because I don't actually control them yet. They're still crossed out. You went to the different province, damn it. Come on. Force. Hello. Force march. Move here. Go. Preferably before we actually lose this province and lose even more civilization in this area. Gotcha. Okay, are there any places where you can actually rest up? Nope. So we basically just need to send you wherever the supply is highest. Ciscarpathia would do. Tandem. Alright, then now Marconis is mine, so I'm going to build a fort here, because I'm fed up with that place falling. And... No pops were captured. We killed them all. Oops! My bad. How bad, guys. Sorry. We accidentally on purpose murdered everyone. Alright. Province map mode. You are not very happy. You are improving. You are improving. I think everyone else should be going up, with one possible exception. Which is just Carnuscia. So why is Carnuscia in such a bad way? Unhappy pops, war exhaustion. Ah, because you have quite a few citizens as well. Yeah, citizens are a little bit of a problem for us. And these are even Swabian chew sticks, which is us. Nope. Hey Dutch Gamer, this looks very similar to EU4. Does it play similarly? Yeah, it really is kind of a split between Victoria, EU4 and Crusader Kings. It has elements of all of them. It has the national focus of EU4. It has the character interactions, though to a much lighter degree, of Crusader Kings, and it has the population mechanics-ish of Victoria. They really want that woad, don't they? Crikey. Is there a way of seeing the breakdown? Yes, there is actually. Population map mode. Now I really wish that there was a way of seeing exactly how many citizens are in each location rather than just hovering. You have 5, but you're not actually one of mine. There's not that many citizens over there. There won't be over there, that's all going to be tribesmen. So yeah, the bulk of them is going to be here. Are going to be here. How much do you cost to move? 20. 20, 40, 60 each. So that's 120 to move you. Let's move you into Marika. Both of you. Let's have you move to Langobards. I was wondering if I'd be able to move all of my people into one province. There's a... it's going to be more expensive. You two need to move. You're actually decreasing in size. I think I'd need to just get them... Well, actually, this would be one closer. So we could get you up to a 7. Are there any more here? No, that's all of those citizens. Oh, Gothinia has one. Move you to Orinia. Orinia to Asunga. And you to Laringa. Larinkio, whatever. Right, we have 8. So I think I'm going to move 2 people from Asunka to you, so you're a 10. Colonize this with the Swabian tribesmen, and that gap is now filled. And then these guys can move to Maronis, whatever. This is definitely not cheap, but this is going to be quite dramatically changing the stability of my people. Dura. Okay, Dura's got all of the citizens, and also the capital province cannot be disloyal. It's not possible. So hopefully that has fixed your loyalty issues. Yes, it has. So who else is having disloyalty issues? I just noticed it's just the Carpathians. Oh no, accumulation of wealth, that's fine. Everywhere is happy with the exception of these 2. And in fact, I'm going to need to move some of these soldiers south in case they do rise up here. Granary in the capital for even more growth. Yeah, probably. Age finds us all in the end. Even the priests and surgeons shake their heads when confronted with the inevitable decline of the human body, as Hargrick Geraldus is finding out. Aww. And all of the minor powers around us are paying us to not murder them. Raising a host. I really don't want to give you troops, although... No. Heavy infantry? Hell no. Civil war it is. You were the heir. You were going to take over the entire tribe, and now you've basically failed in that. Was this Woad? No. Right, so where is Segramundi? It's the big guy on my capital right now. Fantastic. Although he only controls 34% of the army. That's still too much, though. You want furs. That one I can accept. Is there a reason people seem to be avoiding playing in the Spain area? It is very busy over there. There's a lot going on. And I think it basically plays the same as France, but without the coolness of being Gaul. So I think they need to add some like Iberian Celtic flavor to then really make Spain more interesting. You are the chosen one. Why would you do this? "15 chariots, 13 archers." What are you really good at? You're good at deception. You are really good at deception. You are 2. So I think we'll just pack it on those 2. That's going to be 39,000 against their 32,000. Mountains with a fort. We get the defensive advantage. That should be pretty one-sided. As long as I don't suffer too much attrition just sitting here waiting. See if there's any other better locations. Marsonis would actually be one. Although we will take a bunch of attrition marching through here. Alright, so the other thing that I could do is try to spread some of these citizens out amongst the rest of this state, this province. Because so doing would then allow citizens to start growing in each one of these places, rather than just tribesmen. I don't think the number of citizens increases the population growth size. In fact, it decreases it. And also the fact that this is mountains is bad. I don't really want to waste the civic power though. No, we'll hold off. Hopefully this is the last of the massive retinues. We shall see. Unsettled land from the Netherlands to Austria, is that claimable? Yes, it is. Lensa, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. How long? 7 months. I wonder if this province is going to go with them. My guess is probably. I mean, the benefit of them sitting in Imeprator is it has the worst winters. Although I suspect the Martonis will be the same. Maronis, rather. Yes, I will accept the export of furs, definitely. Commerce income is definitely going up quite nicely. The Scririan Civil War ends, just as mine is about to begin, and in fact, it cancelled because our army is big enough again. Alright, well with that in mind, let's move you somewhere with a little bit more supply. Like that. Yeah, that's better. And those wars seem to be ending. You're also in a 13, which is definitely one of the highest, so you're about as good as that's going to get. Okay, so apparently we managed to overcome that civil war, even though we have an extremely disloyal person who wants to rise up with a second's notice. Although we are just 0.8 away from centralizing. So close! So close! So I'm hoping it's similar to the characters. If that hits 33% loyalty, then we can start doing stuff with that province again. was going to say, why were you suffering attrition there? You shouldn't have been.